Given hope before you give up your confidence so that you will have hope of getting your confidence back. A very, very good afternoon to all the dignitaries in the attendees. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here. This is your host Banu Shahini and would like to welcome you all with great immense and joy back to yet another session that has been organized by SEMS Welfare Foundation. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation is not for profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development, entrepreneurship, and livelihood generation, etc. SEMS Group has conducted various international conferences, seminars, workshops, and webinars in emerging technologies in various parts of India and has an active network of 3,000 plus engineers, managers, researchers, etc. Digisaksham is also another initiative of SEMS Group and has also conducted more than 100 webinars, 10 FDPs and workshops, and 6 international conferences. As I proceed further, I would like to introduce the topic for today's webinar, that is the impact on COVID-19 crisis on IT industry, which shall be presented by Mittal ma'am. IT industry or IT technology is everywhere nowadays, and it has been challenging and developing at a rapid pace. The outbreak of the pandemic and economic lockdown has initiated a change in many fields for employees and employers alike. It shows an unprecedented change globally, and the impact is even higher in emerging economies like India. I'm profusely ecstatic to have our guest speaker, Tanvi Mittal ma'am, joining us today. She is an HR leader with a diverse 11 plus years of experience spanning across industries and verticals and have a proven track record by delivering results successfully through designing and implementing a precise talent strategy for the business. She have worked extensively in the areas of leadership development, succession planning, manpower planning, and talent acquisition, and many more. The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are having one of them here today to build this event. With this note, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our guest speaker, Tanvi Mittal ma'am, with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Bhanu. I really appreciate the way you introduced, and I really appreciate Sense Foundation because you people are doing really a good job. Right, I'm happy that now I'm a part of your foundation, right? And if my experience, my views, my suggestions, my insights can help lives, then it will be really nice. Right. So, first of all, I also would like to welcome to everyone on today's topic, which is very hot topic, this COVID-19, right? How this is affected the organizations, especially IT industry, another industry. What is the next surprise in the future? Because it's the third year of this COVID-19, right? There are so many surprises, and we are just waiting for that. We are just preparing for those surprises. It can be, it cannot be, we don't know. So today's topic, I have divided into three parts. First, we'll discuss how it is affected the organization, especially IT industry, when we say, and then what's the impact on the employment side, because this is very important. That what is the next step, how we need to prepare, what companies are expecting, and few tips I definitely share as per my experience to make your place in the corporate as being a team member of any organization. So okay, let's start. So when we say COVID-19 technology sector, right? This is one terminology which I have heard so many times, and sometimes it creates confusion because when I say technology sector, few people think it's only IT industry, right? COVID-19 has affected the IT industry. No, technology sector is very vast area. Okay, this is not only IT sector. This is not only software. It includes hardware also. It includes your service industry also. So that comprise the technology sector. And there is no doubt that COVID-19 has affected every sector, every human life. We have lost so many loved ones, right? So this is but COVID-19 is not worse for everyone. For few industries, it is blessing also. Right. And I'm working since last 11 years with IT industry. Luckily, I got a chance to work with the project based IT staffing, IT services, UK industry, Australia industry, US market. So I got a chance to work in a different countries market economies. So I must say that COVID-19 is not worst for everyone and for every industry. For few industry, this is blessing also. So there are the few industries who are worst affected because of this coronavirus and COVID-19, like tourism. We know that tourism is 2 years that was just totally stopped, right? Nobody was feeling comfortable to move out from their houses itself. Entertainment industry now, you can see the marvelous change from the hall theaters. Now it's Netflix, OT platforms has taken their place. So this is also a big shift. And this is, we can say, worst for the entertainment industry. Another side, travel, aviation. So these sectors, COVID-19 affected worst. But second side of the coin, and I'll say the industry for which COVID-19 is proves as a blessing, right? That is a healthcare. We will discuss in detail also that healthcare is not only because now we need more medication, now we need more medicines because we are feeling ill more, right? Because we are having a flu every day, every week, every month. No, this is not a reason. IT industry is also a major part, I'll say, which have been proven as a blessing for the healthcare industry. And how, I will discuss later in other slides. Same, e-commerce. In fact, that I must say, before COVID-19, I'll take example of my parents. Right, they were used to go to the market. They were not having a trust on the this e-commerce so-called websites. I should not take a name, but yeah, Big Basket or Grover. They didn't have trust because as per them they are very costly. They take these charges, those charges. But scenario has totally changed now. If you will see, your parents will say, why you are going outside? Just order online. Yeah, please, we need this vegetable, order online. So this is a change in ideology, in thinking perspective because of this COVID-19, and that is a blessing for e-commerce industry. E-commerce is also a part of IT industry. Health insurance, yes. Earlier, who were not aware about that, and they were thinking there is no need for the health insurance. Why we need to make a premium every month, every year? Because we fell ill twice in 10 years or 15 years. Why we need to pay premium? But now this is the necessity of your life. IT sector. Today's webinar is totally for IT sector. So we will discuss in detail that what's the effect on the IT sector of COVID-19. Right. Okay. 1 second. So when I say IT sector, first I would like to say that technology sector consists hardware sector, software sector, and IT service sector. Okay. This is very important that we should understand. If in this webinar today students are also here, they should understand that if they are going for any interview, if they are doing their preparation, then they should be keep in mind that for which technology they are, for which sector they are preparing, the hardware, software, IT service sector, because that comprises the technology sector. What's the effect of COVID-19 in hardware sector? Okay, in a short run, that was a negative financial impact. How? Because you must have heard the name of semiconductors. Okay, China was the main country from where every country were taking that semiconductor for their products. Because of this COVID-19, that supply chain got stopped. Manufacturing got stopped. Manpower moved to their hometown. These all affect the hardware sector. That is a negative effect. Their production stop. If you have heard the news, I'm not sure how many people have heard this news that Apple stopped their manufacturing of the new model of iPhone. The reason, because they don't want to launch any new product. So many companies stopped their programs to launch a new product, new technology, just of this COVID-19. That was a negative effect on the hardware sector. But after COVID-19, now industry has is changing, expectations are changing. Now we are a little bit settled down of this so-called COVID-19 era. Demand now has been increased now because everyone is starting to work in remote. Schools has been started, organizations, in fact, medical facility, everything, they have been started their remote working. That has been led to increase in demand of the product. It's not only laptop, it's not only mobiles, It's small things also. We never thought about it, but like a wire, routers, modem, these things also high in demand. I don't know how many people are belong from this industry who are into the hardware, but if you will deal with your IT team, your IT admin team, right? If you are taking care of the purchase department or procurement department, then you will understand that how the demand is growing of the products in the market. So hardware sector, yeah, earlier that was a negative impact, but post COVID is a positive. It's a blessing for hardware sector. Software sector, everyone know, there's no question, no doubt. This sector is in boom. In fact, as being an HR, I am into hiring also. So everyone this time would like to be associated with the IT sector. I really fortunate that I am working with IT sector. Why it is in boom? Because if we are working online, right, we are taking our classes online, not only schooling classes. In fact, now parents have started to take their extra curriculum classes online. If you will see that, beat any classes, some like dance, music, cooking, you can take online. These has been increased in the demand of software, especially teleconference software. If you will see the case study of Zoom, their market price has been doubled because of this demand. Now everyone need a user-friendly teleconference software. So this sector definitely in demand. Organizations are working from home, right? I would like to share one experience with you in the software sector about the data security. That earlier when I was working, my company was working for bank. We were making up, we were developing the software for the bank. Data security was the everything for my organization. Not a single person was allowed to work from home. The reason only data security. But you know that how the market has been shifted. Everyone is working from home. So the data security software, this is in high demand. Later, in one of my slides, I have mentioned that this is not only for the industry, but for the employment also. This is very high in demand. Companies are expecting from the students, from the employee, that they should have a knowledge about the data security, right? And that, again, it's a boom for the software sector. Everyone is working from home. We need a monitoring software so that we can monitor the performance of our employees. We can monitor the performance of the supply chain also, like where is our product currently? Has it been dispatched or not? So we need that also automated software where we can monitor day by day their progress, right? So this kind of software is also in high demand. There is no doubt new business has been emerging. For example, you must have heard about chatbot. So chatbot is a software, like earlier we have a customer call center. We just call and ask for the help. Now we have a chatbot. You have seen that now companies have started to doing automated chat system. You can put your message and you can get answer. In fact, if there are some people who are having their family, they know that in India, if you will book a cylinder also, now they have done this automated chat box. You just need to put into chat. They'll send every messages and it will get sorted. So this is a new emerging trend, which is just into demand by the corporates also, companies also. In fact, in my organization, like we have started a chatbot. So what is that? That chatbot pop up on the screen of my employees and it asks randomly questions. Hi, are you happy today? I'm Amira. Something like that. And the people can reply, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that is a new business. So software sector is definitely in demand. New business are coming in the market. People are thinking out of the box, right? How we can make the life of easy after this COVID-19. Next is a IT service. So what's the difference between I'll tell you, IT service sector and software sector? This is almost similar. But IT service is basically the company who are taking the projects and delivering that. Software sector, I was considering a product-based company, but IT service sector, project sector, right? They are just taking the project from the outside of the market and they are delivering those projects. In the short term, there is no doubt that IT service sector also affect badly. The reason because big corporates, they just stop their new productions, new developments, right? If they have stopped their plan of growing, then definitely the organization which are associated with them, they will affect. So that was the IT service sector. Also less manpower supply. The reason because people were not mentally prepared for the work from home. In fact, companies also were not prepared. So sudden change, sudden lockdown that affected the service sector. Here also, I will like to share my personal experience that before this COVID-19, we were working on a system where everything will be on cloud. If someone required to work from home, the person can be able to manage that. We were working on that. And that was taking a time. We were making up policies, process, meeting with the leadership team. But the night when we listen that announcement, okay, from tomorrow there's a lockdown. No one will be able to go to the office. I'm really surprised at span of finger how quickly we adopted that culture. In a 2 days, every system was automated, every machine was got delivered, courier was so fast, right? And our entire data was on cloud. So that was the effect of COVID-19, right? Which I saw like since last 6 months, 7 months, we were preparing few things, and that was not happening. The reason because there were so hurdles, so employees was resisting that. But in 2 days, we did that, and everything was smooth. So that was the effect of COVID-19 on the IT industries. Basically, everyone is thinking that all IT industry was mentally prepared. They were okay to work from home. No, mid-level organization, startups, they also took a time to adopt that culture. They were not mentally prepared. They were not digitally prepared to start this work from home culture, to bear this COVID-19 effect. They also took a time. But yes, that process got faster because of this COVID-19. So the COVID-19 was blessing for the digital industry, for the IT industry. That was not a worse. It has opened so many gates to grow. And not only for the organization, but the economic point of view also, because so many business chances has been come. If you have seen the startups, so many startups has been emerges. The reason that at the time when people were working from home, they gave a time to their passion, their hobbies, their dreams, and that's the result that there have been so many startups. So for economy also, IT sector is blessing, right? And for IT sector, COVID-19 is blessed. So that is the whole picture of COVID-19. Now we will discuss that in detail. That what are the software improvements. Okay, there was a one point I mentioned, less hiring. Yeah, during the COVID-19, hiring was also get stopped. But now it's into demand. Who all are associated here with the IT industry, they know that IT market is very fluctuating now. So demand, manpower is also in demand. But yes, now they are costly. So if you have heard a news yesterday's news, like Microsoft has stopped their 3 line of business. They have fired almost 1,800 people, and Google has stopped their hiring. In a longer term, it seems that it will be less hiring, slow down into this economy after this COVID-19. So when we discuss about the digital transformation, okay, digital transformation has been happening in the IT sector after this COVID-19. I would like to say this is not only for tools and technologies. This is ideology, because earlier also we were digital. We were used to use the mobile. That is the digital. We were using a laptop. That was a digital. But now after COVID-19, IT industry has changed their ideology, their thinking process. Have you heard about that? If you would like to speak, if you would like to learn English communication, you should think in English, you should speak in English, you should write in English, right? Same now in the digital transformation. Now you have to think digitally, that how the things can be more smooth, right? When we say remote working is to think that how the same process can be done via remote working. Innovation is also changed, has their definition in IT industry. Now in IT industry, innovation, it means how you can innovate the new product with the same process while doing the remote working. So that is the digital transformation. Now we are thinking more about the digital, not only tools, not only technology, but every day-to-day life also. Okay, we have to make sure that our team in the organization, they are ready to adapt the new technology, this fast moving technology, because now we are not sure what is the next surprise in the market. If you have heard the studies, now why companies are hiring only IT people, only the people who are strong in the technologies. Okay, the reason because they are creating you can say a pipeline, they are creating a map to survive in the future surprises, 2 years has gone of COVID-19. We are here. We have been survived. That's great. But now we need to be prepared for future post COVID-19. And if we need to be survive in the future, only one is way: technology. That's it. Thinking has to be technology. They has to be technical. Every step has to be technical. So that is digital transformation. COVID-19 has taken one thing very good, like that is workforce. Companies have started to give importance to their work. Earlier, also humans were important, employees were important, but in IT industry, if you will see, their ideology has been changed. Earlier, they were thinking about the cost management. If they need to survive, they have to be cost effective. But now they know if they have to survive, they have to be human capital. They should have that human capital. Human resource has been changed to human capital because of their knowledge, because of their ideas. Because if you have to survive, they're the only way that your human capital is technically enabled. They are digital. They are resilient about their technology. So that trust on workforce, it has been increased. Trust on technology. I'll give you one example. In my career, I have seen 3 or 4 due diligence during the merger acquisition, during the funding. Okay, that time we were giving a more focus on the that part, their costing, their balance sheet, their data, right? That was the part of due diligence. Technology was second thing. That okay, this is IT company, they have to do. Technology must be good for them because this is IT company. But now due diligence process has been changed. Whenever companies planning to merge or acquisition funding, the first question about their technology is: this company technology or technical sound or not? That is the main part. So that technology, trust on technology has been increased. Workforce trust on workforce has been in. Now companies are more investing on IoT, right? On artificial intelligence, on blockchain, on cloud. As I gave you example, because earlier people were planning to shift on the cloud. They were thinking, they were making their policies of 10 pages and process and how it will move. But now everything is on cloud. And this is in high demand. So for students also, if in this webinar, I'm not sure if there are some students or if any person who are planning to change into the IT sector, these are the booming area for the job perspective also. That is a cloud, that is a blockchain, that is a AI, data center, data analytics. Because now it's a game of only data. If you are sound in data, you can win the game. If you are not sound in data, then anybody can beat you. Because the generation which are coming from the colleges now, they are really super, right? So these are the changes in the IT industry from the technical side. Okay, now they are why blockchain? Because blockchain is also I'm not technical girl. I have never done coding and something, but yeah, as experience which I have learned, via blockchain also you can monitor your products in a supply chain where they are existing. So this is the reason that blockchain is also in huge demand currently. Now, their strategy of the organization, their workforce design has been changed. The reason, the wider gates have been opened. Earlier, when I was hiring, okay, IT companies were hiring. In a Gurgaon, we were hiring only for people who are near to Delhi NCR so that they can come to the office. Now our area has been increased. Now we are hiring from out of India also because the people has to work from home. They can do very easily. Workforce designing has been changed. That strategy has been changed for the organization. When we say think out of the box, now they are thinking out of the box because now diversity and inclusion is the more important part of the organization. Okay, no worries. I'll tell you very simple why now companies have given a more focus on diversity and inclusion. And I'll give you one example. What's the meaning of diversity and inclusion? Okay, we are into a party. Okay, we are calling everyone on DJ for a dance. That is diverse. Okay, we are not thinking who is elder, who is younger. We are calling everyone. No, we have to dance. This is diversity. But if we are sure that yes, everyone is dancing with us, everyone is enjoying with us, that is inclusive. We have hired from south, from north, from Goa, from Bangalore, from east, right? That is diversity. It doesn't mean that we are very well cultured company because we have hired so many people. No. But if we are success in inclusion, if everyone is feeling safe in the organization, if our aim, our objectives are matching with their objective, if they have trust on the organization, that is inclusion. So now companies have started to more work on diversity and inclusion. The reason because the workforce designing has been changed. Earlier, if south side like Bangalore, if they're hiring only for the generation from the Bangalore, right, people from the Bangalore, so that was very easy. Culture was very same. They can very easily incorporate those people in the organization. But now it's totally changed. I am here in Delhi NCR, and I'm sharing my personal experience. This is really tough to infuse to make comfortable a people who is coming from Hyderabad. Their expectations are totally changed. Their way of style is totally changed. And then that's the role comes when we say what's the effect of COVID-19 on IT industry. That's the role of IT industry. And that's the role of leaders come. They have to make sure that Hyderabad people and the Delhi NCR people, they have to work together on a project. And that has to be smooth. That is diversity and inclusion. So now companies are giving more focus. Their strategies are more on this diversity and inclusion. So this is the change in the workforce designing. Also, they have to take a decision that, okay, who will be in the office, what kind of projects where we need staff in the office itself, and what kind of projects which can be work from home possible. So they have to make decision according. That is also for the IT industry a big challenge because now everyone would like to work from home. They don't want to come to the office, right? Because it is, right? You're giving your time, your family. So now the IT industry, you can say, is a challenge also for the companies, for the IT industry, because from the another side, if you will see, everyone says very easy for IT industry. They can do work from home. Why they are calling to me office? It's not required at all. But no, this is also required sometimes. So that is the challenge for the IT industry post COVID-19 because they need to meet with the expectations of their employees to make the arrangement of work from home. Their hiring process has been changed. The reason, earlier they were calling to employees, to the candidate, to their office. Now everything is on Zoom, everything on MS Teams. And for IT industry, this is a big challenge also because fraud has been increased. Interview is giving someone else, hiring is for someone else, working is someone else. So to keep track on everything, role comes of the software industry. Then we need that kind of softwares, which we can say cyber security, teleconferencing, data security. Those softwares are in demand. So yes, COVID-19 is blessing for the software industry, but side by side, it's a challenging also to manage the industry. This is very shocking because I was just reading a survey of one IBM. IBM published their report, I believe, last week, and the results were very shocking because now everyone is talking about the human. I also said in earlier slide that human are important. Now every company know that if they have to survive, they need to invest on the human capital, their training, their development, their you can say their health, right? Their peace. There should be a less stress. Every company is spending on that. But when there was a survey of around 500 companies of their employees, the data was very shocking. Data was not saying the same. According to that data, employees were thinking that no, companies are not doing anything for human, for us. The reason, because they have now stress of layoffs. Now that pressure has been increased that if I will work, then I'll be here, I'll not perform, I'll not be here. That layoff pressure has been increased. Performance pressure has been increased. On the other side, now employees have to manage their home and their work together at the same time. That pressure has been increased. In India, almost when I was reading that study, 70% of the female are working because they want to go out from the home. They want to go into that different culture. But now if they are working from home, that pressure has been increased. So human that employees, they are feeling that no, the companies are not investing, they are not thinking, pressure has been increased, stress has been increased due to this COVID-19. And another side, organizations are saying that they have recognized the importance of human. So they are investing more in human. So that is, again, is the effect of COVID-19. Otherwise, earlier, everything was smooth. Everyone is happy. The new expectation has came just because of this COVID-19. I'll show this data. This is from that study. If you people can see. So 74% employers are saying that they are spending on the learning, training, development, which kind of skills required in the future. But when they asked from the employees, the data was really shocking. Only 38% employees said that yes, they are. Yes, companies are investing on their training and development. Yes, companies are thinking about their upbringing, their skill set. Same. 80% employers said that we are supporting the physical and emotional health of its workforce. We are spending on that. We are doing so many webinars. We are organizing so many events, but only 46% employees will agree about that. That is, again, is thanks to COVID-19, I must say, because that confusion, that era has been created by COVID-19 with the IT industry. This data is only for IT industry. I read somewhere that if this is for HR, if any HR is here in this session, that if you want that people are associated with you, they are working with you, their goal and organization goal is matching, then it's very important that they are sure about their expectations. As being a Tanvi, as being an HR, I should be aware that what is expecting from my side. Okay, on what basis my performance will get measured, what will be my KRS, my KPIs, how I can contribute to the success of the organization. If I am drawing a line here, how this line will be beneficial for the organization, right? And companies are saying 86% employers said that yes, we are doing this. In fact, if you will ask from me, I will also say yes, I am doing this. During the induction and onboarding, I'm telling my employer that what is the expectations, why you are here, how your efforts will be beneficial for us. But only 51% employees said that this is true. And others are saying, no, this is not true. Still, we are not clear about the expectations. The reason, because every day the demand of the new technology, every day there is a new surprise. So this is the effect of COVID-19 in IT industry. I discussed earlier also, but here it's a little bit in detail, that the strategy of the corporates has been totally changed. As I told you earlier, thinking was around the cost management, customers, right? They were making a long-term plans. But now companies are putting more focus on their internal operational capability. So what is internal operational capabilities is their human capital. How much my operational capability, how much my team is capable to adopt the new challenges. Suppose if tomorrow there is some brother and sister of Corona comes, my team will be able to manage that. Are we that much technical sound? So companies are investing more on that part. They are more investing on training, development, technology. They are preparing their team to face the new challenge. And in fact, about IT service industry, they have started. They are now creating their bench pool. If you have heard the reason, so that whenever there will be a now requirement and demand, so they should be ready with the talented pool of people to whom they can just plug and play. No need for further training at the time of requirement. So that strategy of the corporates has been changed. Now they are working on agile more. They are more focusing on agility at every stage of the organization. Their business continuity plan has been totally changed. When I was doing business continuity plan, I was making my reports that, okay, if there was a flood, then how my team will work. If there will be earthquake, then how my team will work. So we were doing that practice, right? What will be the backup? Have you seen Shesha movie? That what is the second backup, right? If this is not a success, then what will do second? So that companies were doing. But now their business continuity plan has totally changed. They have moved to the technology. Now they are thinking about the technology, that how if this technology will be lapsed and suddenly tomorrow new technology will come, whether we will be able to survive. That is the part of business continuity plan. As I told you, that is the due diligence. Now companies are more focusing on their technology, on their cloud services, on their workforce. They have understood about that if you need to survive, technology has to be sound. That's it. There's no another second mantra to survive in this market. So that is due to this COVID-19. That is the effect on IT industry of this COVID-19. This is again data from this IBM study that cost management, 87% companies are doing. Enterprise agility, 87% companies are investing on that. Cash flow and liquidity, now they have understand they have to be uh, sound in terms of monetary, because you are not sure about the future. That is very, very surprising. Cyber security, it's a new wing. If here are the students and the people who are looking for change, and cyber security is very demanding area. There are so many jobs are coming, right? The reason, because now every company needs this cyber security for their organization. Cyber crimes have been increased, be it any industry, so they need a cyber security. IT resiliency, IoT, cloud, mobility. Have you seen that I believe Concentrix or Cognizant? I just forgot about this mobility. They have started in one country mobile van for the work. Like now that van will come into your area, and if you are working with that particular organization, you can sit into that van. You can come do your work. There will be a proper internet, proper laptop, machines, and everything. Complete office will be set up into that van. I believe it's a Concentrix. They have done this mobile van, right? So this is the change of COVID-19. Have you ever thought about that? सोचा था हमने कभी कि ऐसा एक मोबाइल वैन होगा हमारे घर के आगे खड़ा होगा जिसके अंदर सारे इक्विपमेंट्स लगे होंगे एंड वी विल बी एबल टू आवर जॉब फ्रॉम दैट वैन. दैट इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ कोविड-19 टू आईटी इंडस्ट्री. IT industry has changed really a lot. Their way of thinking, their designing, their process, everything has been changed. And if you need to survive in the market, you have to adapt that changes. This is the only message from this COVID-19. New product development, as I give example of chatbot, new market entry. Now startups are coming in the market. So that is the picture of this COVID-19 effect and how companies are investing. This is also about that study that this is from the organization survey of 500, that earlier they were spending 43% on the workforce safety and security. Now they are spending 92%. So this, you can see a huge gap. I also remember after this COVID-19 in India, especially in Delhi NCR, earlier insurance for employees were not mandatory. Now by the government, it has been done mandatory that every organization has to make sure that all employees are insured in the organization. They should have medical insurance. So that is the change of the COVID-19. Sustainability. To sustain in the market, companies are spending. They know that health is the key to sustainability. If my workforce is healthy, they can survive. Environmental impact. Companies also have given importance to the CSR, corporate social responsibility. They are investing on that. This is the part of COVID-19. This is the effect of COVID-19. So what's the shift? Like earlier there was a crisis management, workforce resiliency. Now they are into cost management, workforce safety and security. So that is the shift. There's a one major shift also, that leaders. The success of the remote working, it totally depends on the leaders of the organization. They are the change agent. I always say that leaders are the change agent. And companies are very lucky if they have the leaders who can adopt the new challenges and who can prepare their team to be open for the new challenges, right? Their management, their operation, their budgetary priorities, everything depends on their leaders. That they have to be a normal. If team feels safe, that depends on the leaders. And leaders never give up. This message has been learned from this COVID-19 by the IT industry, that if you are a leader, you cannot give up. You need to motivate your team at every stage, at every time. And few of the organization for this mid-level or startup, they do not have a monetary software, so-called. They have only trust on their leaders. So the role of the leaders have been changed. They are the major focus now for the organizations. Their long-term priorities has been changed. As I told you, the BCP plan has been changed. They are now more investing on the IT infrastructure. Earlier, they were investing on their building, their decoration. Now it's more investment on the IT infrastructure. They are adapting the new way of working, which is remote working. We all know. So this is the change of COVID-19 into the IT industry. Earlier, like they were that has to be break now, right? Now tools, technology, crisis management, but also organization have to make sure that people are not working in silos. They should be a togetherness among teams. Okay, they need to build an organization where everyone can trust on themselves, on each other. There should be accountability. There should be a collaboration. So that is again effect of COVID-19 into IT industry on IT industry. So now IT industry, right? Their employment sector has totally been changed. As being in HR, I'm closely associated with my talent acquisition team. Okay, and I have seen that change. That before COVID-19, what was our expectations from the employees? After COVID-19, expectation has totally been changed. Earlier, we were looking a person who has to be technical sound. Today, we are looking a person who has to be technical sound plus positive attitude. Because now we are in impression that if person is having a positive attitude, the person can learn. We can give the training, but we cannot give training for the attitude. This is the main important demand in the market now for IT industry, for aviation industry, for tourism industry, for everything. Because of this COVID-19, demands has been changed from the employees. Their hiring process has been changed. So now we are not calling like to the office to any person. We are taking remote interview, right? Like we are talking, so two-way discussion. So expectation to express yourself has been increased from the organization. They are looking the person who can express, because it's very difficult. If you are talking to each other in the office cabin, it's totally different. But if you're talking to each other over the machine, it's totally different. I believe you all have faced that scenario. Initially, I was also not comfortable. In fact, I remember during the hiring time, and I was hiring, and my boss asked me, Tanvi, what is happening? Hiring is not happening. And then my reply was that COVID-19 is new for me also. I was not prepared for this COVID-19. I don't know. I do not have a ready-made solutions. I also need to learn. And the same for the employment. But now we have faced 2 years of COVID-19. We have learned a lot. So what are the expectations? What are the future trends? Where are the skill gaps? I'll tell you. So now for the technical side, there's a big skill gap. In fact, many IT companies have started to launch their own syllabus into the colleges. I don't know you people have heard or not, Tech Mahindra. They have their own syllabus. They have tie-up with the colleges. They provide their syllabus to the colleges so that students can learn. And after that completion of 1 year or 2 years, they got placement in Tech Mahindra. So this is the effect of COVID-19. The skill gap, it has to be filled in the employment. And now we cannot wait for 5 years, 6 years. We are looking at students, we are looking at strength who are very quickly adaptable for the new opportunity. They are ready to upgrade their skills very quickly. They are open-minded, who are not rigid, right? So this is a change in the COVID-19, in the employment sector. Because now you people have to learn, because earlier there was a classroom training, but now there's no classroom training. If there will be training and development, it will be by some coaching on a laptop. Okay, you will get some books. So there will be no classroom training. That is a change. Role of the change. This is very, very important point. I would like to highlight here 1 second. This is very important. Full-time employees to upskill to food-changing organization. Now, because of this COVID-19, industries, especially IT industry, especially IT service industry, they learned that if they have to survive, they should have the manpower, but they should have the cash also in their bank accounts if they want to survive in future. So contingent workers, that model is coming into the market now. Now companies are investing on the temporary working model. They are a little bit not comfortable to spend on the full-time hiring, on the full-time employees, because they are the project, then people are working, but after some time there is no project and people are not working. They cannot bear that cost to idle employees. So they are doing a tie-up with the organization where the bench resources are readily available. They just hire them for 2 months, 3 months, whenever the project. Here, the business for IT staffing industries has been grown up because now big fortune names, they are asking for the employee who can do work contingent. So if you people are looking for the full-time employment in the organization, then make sure to upskill your education, your knowledge, so that you can justify the employer that yes, hire us on a permanent basis, not on a contingent basis, not on a temporary basis, not on a flexible basis. So this is very, very important change in the organization, that is contingent work, especially in IT, because IT industry, they have a software related task. They have time bound tasks. They have 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, some lifetime limit tasks. So this model is really booming in the IT industry. In fact, this students who are coming from the college, which we call the millennials. Now millennials are coming, right? X, Y, both generation has gone. Now millennials are coming. The people who are looking only for limelight, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and who want to live their life. I don't know you have heard or not the terminology protein career. Now students are working on the ideology of protein career. Protein career, it means my life, my career, I will decide. Company will not decide that what I have to do. I will take my decision. जब तक मन होगा काम करूंगा, नहीं होगा नहीं करूंगा. Earlier that was culture in the US. People just earn and then take a break for 6 months and go for the vacation, then come again and then start to work. So that generation is coming. So they also want to work on the freelancing projects where they have a freedom. They don't want to be bound themselves for 9 to 6 job. They want a freedom. They want a freedom of thoughts. They want a freedom of experiment. They want a freedom of their life. This is a major change in the employment sector of IT industry. That contingent workers are most cost saving and flexible, and this requires that remaining full-time employees to upskill to fit changing organization needs. Now we'll talk about the data trends. We discussed earlier also that data is very important now. Data analyticals, data. There are so many terms in the employment sector. So if data science, which I have mentioned here only. Right? So if you are looking your career in IT, but be it any stream, marketing, HR, or accounts, you have to be data oriented. You have to be very strong on your data analytical skills. So that is main requirement. If you remember in earlier slides, we discussed about the social, corporate social responsibilities and health and wellness, that now companies are starting to invest on that. The same here in the employment sector, physical and mental well-being are areas where employers are focusing more. They are looking that people has to be physical strong, they need to be mental strong, they should feel less stress. If you have heard, like now people, companies, IT companies especially, they have started that after 6 months, they give a 1 week break so that you can spend time for the mental health. Flexible work system, increase in remote working, as we know. So that is the reason that the IT industry, software industry, hardware industries are in demand, because now we need more infrastructure, we need more IT support, right? But that is the system. Now flexible work system will be in the market. So this is the change in the employment sector. This is what is the demand and supply of the manpower. Okay, if I will say information technology, demand and supply is a gap of 17%. Like demand is high. The reason, you know why? It doesn't mean that itna kaam बढ़ गया है IT industry में. Reason because now IT industries are looking skill. Skills are missing somewhere. We have students, we have manpower, we have experience, but the skills are missing, especially in IT industry. And which skills? The same: programming languages, data security, cyber security. These skills are missing. So this is, if you people are looking for a job, if you people are looking to make your career into the IT industry, these are the booming area. Again, I'm repeating, do focus on these areas, and just there's nobody can stop you. So yes, IT industry, cyber security has been in demand, okay, because we need to make sure that our data is secure, our softwares are secure. If I don't know how many people are from the HR stream in this webinar, but if you are from the HR stream, you must be aware That intellectual capital clause has been added in the appointment letters. Earlier, that was missing. That was not important, actually. Some companies are using, some companies are not using. So it means that whatever you are doing and you are developing in the organization, that will be the property of the organization. It's not your property. You cannot sell out. नहीं कह सकते ना कि मैंने घर पे बैठ के सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया तो मेरा है तो मैं तो मार्केट में बेचूंगा. No, no. It is the company property. The cyber security has been emerging. Cloud computing, as I told to you, because everything has to be on cloud. And very easy also, right? Now you are going to the market, not market, vacation, right? You can do work. Nobody can stop you if data is on cloud. Digital transformation. Again, here I would like to repeat the same thing which I told in the beginning. Digital transformation, not only tools, technology, digital transformation from here, from our thinking. We have to think digitally, right? And if you have seen the job postings, the more programming languages are coming. Every day I know my recruitment team how they are struggling, because whenever they are working on a requirement and suddenly next day we are listening, we are coming a requirement for some new technology, that this is the new in the market, now we need the people on this technology. I would like to share just as a humor that last week we got a requirement from one of our clients that we need a people on this technology. This is very new in this in the market, and we need a people who is having a 5 years of experience. And I met with the client that this is a new technology from where we can get a people who is having a 5 years of work experience, because this technology is like since last 6 months is in the market. So this is just a job, but yeah, technology is changing rapidly. So you have to keep updated to yourself if you have to be in the market. That is the trend of IT, right? इंडस्ट्री बूम में है, आईटी का बहुत डिमांड है, बट करियर बनाने के लिए पढ़ना बहुत है, अपने आप को अपग्रेड करना पड़ेगा, अपने आप को मार्केट के साथ चलाना पड़ेगा अगर इस कोविड-19 पोस्ट कोविड-19 एरा में कट-थ्रोट कंपटीशन में सर्वाइव करना है. This is a last slide. It's in a brief for about the information technology. So again, like everything is now online: healthcare, insurance, aviation, tourism, everything. So demand of the information technology is in boom, right? So develop the long-term plans for securing and sensitive data across the widely distributed network. More firms turning to cloud platform, as I told you. Develop resilience to future disruption. Again, it is very important. Future is uncertain. That COVID-19 has taught to us, right? And we need to prepare today only for the future. And industries are spending more on that, in IT infrastructure, on workforce, on their training, on their development, their mental health, AI, IoT, blockchain, cybersecurity, data security, so that they can be in future. Past to chala gaya, COVID-19 to chala gaya. They are able to survive, but what is in the future? For that, now they are preparing. Increased need for automation and security, acceleration of fourth industrial revolution. This is very important and well said. Skill to focus, machine learning is in demand, cybersecurity is in demand, cloud solutions, software development.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a very informative and incredible session. We have some participants with some query. So on their behalf, I will be asking you the question. Ma'am, the first question from Vishnu is like, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm from civil engineer background. Will that be okay if I join in IT industry? How will my career grow in that industry? And he's learning Java also. Will that help me? This query.
Yeah, Vishnu, okay. Let me take one example. Okay, I have learned cooking. Okay, मैंने cooking करना सीखा है. Now I would like to apply for a job of painter. ठीक है? How will I do? Can any company will hire me? मुझे cooking आता है और मुझे painting करना है. मुझे company hire करेगी. Why they'll hire me? Why they'll spend on me? So for that, I need to learn painting. Same. Definitely, you can go to IT industry. Nobody can stop you. Trust me, I am also hiring civil engineer for my IT industry. But you need to get prepared for that. If you want to, as a fresher भी अगर जाना है, you need to make sure कि you need to aware about the technology. Java, you are telling that you are learning. That's great. Then learn Java. Learn something about that more. Learn about the IT industry, how Java is beneficial, right? And yes, definitely you can go. But again, I am repeating, wherever you want to go, make sure you read about that. You learn about that. so that company is ready to invest you, give you more training. बट अगर मैं कुकिंग ही करती रहूंगी तो मुझे कंपनी पेंटिंग नहीं सिखाएगी, बट अगर मुझे ब्रश पकड़ना और कलर कॉम्बिनेशन पता होगा, कंपनी विल स्पेंड ऑन मी. Then they will teach me that how to draw a face. So yes, you can go. And one more thing for the civil engineer, I must say, in IT industry, if you will go for the railway side, it's not a field job. For like how do I? In a UK railway, right? In a Singapore railway, they have one system where they mitigate the accidents. Okay, they have a program which they call risk mitigation something. उनका एक रहता है program. ACOM is a very big company in this field. They hire civil engineers because they need civil engineers for that. It's not a field job, it's totally office job. But वो coding नहीं रहता है उसमें. उसमें उन्हें आईटी चाहिए होता है, बट टोटली डिफरेंट काइंड का आईडी होता है. तो वंस यू विल गेट टाइम, जस्ट रीड अबाउट दैट, एंड इफ यू विल फेस एनी चैलेंज, यू कैन टेक्स्ट मी ऑन लिंक्डइन. आई विल हेल्प यू. But yes, civil engineers also can go into the IT industry. Nobody can stop you if you want to.
Okay, ma'am. And next question is from Joyce. Has COVID also affected the hiring process?
Yes, Joyce. COVID has affected a lot to the hiring process. First of all, mode of the hiring has been changed. Now nobody is calling to you the office. Secondly, in IT industry, as I told you earlier in my slide, that we are looking candidates who are flexible, positive attitude, and ready to work in any mode, work from home, work from office, who are not rigid. This is the demand. And third, technical sound. This is for the IT industry specifically. I'm not saying any another industry, but for IT industry, we are looking people who are technical sound.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for making our doubts clear. The webinar was really very amazing. I would like to propose hearty vote of thanks to you, ma'am, for gracing today's webinar. Your presence and wise word help magnify our cause in best possible ways. I hope all the participants learned a lot with this webinar. I would really like to thank you, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. And I'm delighted to be the part of today's webinar. Yes. A good event never ends in the world. They take only a pause and keep us awaiting for the next. All good things eventually end. I consider everyone as fortunate that they became a part of this webinar, which was full of knowledge and which makes difficult to say goodbye. Thank you so much for cooperating with us. Again, thank you everybody for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. The end of one chapter is the beginning of the next. Keep on reading, the best is yet to come. I, Banu Shahini, your host for the day, sign off on a cheerful note. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Banu. Thank you so much for everyone, and all the best for your career.